Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. A three. Steps back, crossover, puts up a three. Rebound James. Second. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Good evening, Cavs fans, and welcome to another installment of the Block the Shot to Stop, a Cleveland Cavaliers podcast brought to you by the wonderful people at Blue Wire. I'm Tim Daniel. He's Kevin Lynch. He's Skylar Webker. And tonight, guys, we are talking franchise history as the Cleveland Cavaliers have now extended the longest win streak in franchise history to 16 games with a 133-124 victory tonight in Memphis over the Grizzlies. And the score was making it look like it was much closer than it really was. But a great night for the Cavs, as always. Another great win. And, man, just keeping rolling. Now officially clinch a top 3 seed. Magic number to clinch number 1 overall seed in the East is now down to 8. And this is the 12th team of the year they have swept. So, guys, are we still having fun? Because I feel like we're still having fun.
I'm having fun. I have fun. Yeah, I have a fun stat right at the top. You want to hear a fun stat?
I do.
Always. Fun stat. So the Cavs' 3 winning streaks now are the current 16. They had a 15 game to start the year and a 12 in the middle of the year. That's 43 combined games in 3 winning streaks. There's only 2 other teams in the NBA that even have 43 wins.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Man, so that tells you everything you need to know about how the season's gone, for those who didn't know. But I thought tonight was great, especially because this is a good basketball team they played. No Donovan Mitchell tonight. Isaac Okoro steps in and starts again for the second game in a row. But, Kevin, I had to bring you in to start this because the bench mob were the ones that had things rolling tonight. 3 Andre Hunter and crew. You like that?
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, it was one thing. I think we always kind of notice the bench because it's such a strength with the Cavs, but like it was something I was really looking at tonight because Memphis is one of the other deeper teams in the league, right? They have a lot of like really talented guys coming in off the bench. So I kind of earhold that as a key of the game tonight. So I looked with 3 minutes, and it was pretty evident the Cavs bench was outplaying the Grizzlies bench all game. So when they pulled all the starters and rotation guys with 3 minutes to go, I was like, I want to see the disparity. The Cavs bench outscored the Memphis bench in the meaningful minutes of the game, the first 45 minutes of the game, 56-28, 28-point difference. It literally doubled them up on again. And I mean, it very complimentary. Memphis having one of the best benches of the league. The Cavs were that much better than them tonight.
Yeah. They were.
I mean, it's crazy that the depth is wild. I mean, we saw Javonte Green put in meaningful minutes, 10, 4, and 2 with a steal, and taking a hard hit against the base of the hoop. For anybody that didn't get to watch it, he goes for a breakaway layup or dunk and kind of gets a real flagrant foul on Jaren Jackson Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just slammed him into the base of the hoop. It was pretty gnarly.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just every time you see something like that, of course, you think about the Paul George thing and the Team USA exhibition. So when he got up and rolled, he rolled over and got back up, it was like a big, just sigh of relief. And then he hits the free throws, of course. So, and he was really good tonight. I mean, he was really, really good. It's definitely his best Cavs game. Played meaningful minutes tonight. I thought, 15 minutes tonight, 10, 4, and 2. Was didn't shoot awfully well by any means, but definitely made an impact. So, Skylar, I know you were excited to talk about Javonte tonight. So kind of get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that we brought in on the buyout market, kind of to solidify the team, get the roster spots up, or get the roster hit the minimum roster number. But this is a guy that can defend at all 3 levels. You didn't bring him in for his scoring. You brought him in for his defense. You brought him in for Isaac Okoro and Dean Wade insurance. You brought this guy in to be one of the peskiest defenders on the floor. And we saw that quite a few times tonight. Either the way he altered a play, altered a shot, altered just kind of what Memphis was doing. So hats off to Javonte Green for really contributing. And I don't know what his playoff minutes are going to be if he does get any, but I like that he's on our team.
Yeah, absolutely. Kev, did you want to add the Javonte? Because I know you're itching to talk a little Sam Merrill.
No, we'll get to Sam in just a minute. I think Javonte Green is as high level player as you're ever going to get on the buyout.
Yeah,
line.
for sure.
I mean, he really is, and it is very tough for someone to come in like he did and get minutes in a wing, in a 2-3 spot on this team where they're so deep and have so many guys. But I think there's a very good chance he's one of those guys that's going to make a meaningful contribution somewhere, right? It might not be every game. He might get some DMPs in the playoffs, but there might be a game where somebody twists an ankle or gets in foul trouble and you need him to come in and he just gives you like a dozen really, really quality minutes off the bench. So I kind of like you said, Tim, I'm super glad he's on our team. Makes me feel better about, lengthening out our depth even more, especially defensively. And I think I was really glad to see him get some quality minutes. I think a lot of Cavs fans wanted to see him get some important minutes.
Yeah, I definitely think if they end up, the first round, he's going to play. I don't know if it's going to be because they need him to play. It might just be because whoever they play in the first round is not going to be good.
Be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, Miami's on an 8-game losing streak right now. They're looking to be maybe a first-round matchup.
I told you the other night, Skylar, it's going to be Bulls Cavs round 1. It's happening. Kev's going to be able to go to Kev's going to be able to go to game 3 and 4 and live his best life celebrating in the United Center. So
it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely. Playoffs in the United Center is fun too. So even if the Bulls are terrible. Sam Merrill, another big night, has been really, really good during this win streak, obviously. Not just as a defender, but as a shooter. And when we do talk about Ty Jerome, I will mention a little more of this, but he specifically mentioned Sam in his interview on Russillo's pod last week. I finally listened to it today. Just talking about he's one of our defenders. We trust him a lot. He's a guy we rely on for a lot, as a 3-and-D kind of guy, paraphrasing his words there for those who have listened to the interview. But Sam Merrill, again, showing his value, showing that if it does get to this point where they shorten the bench in the playoffs, he's going to be a hard guy to keep out of the rotation.
For sure. He makes a lot of winning plays. As we said, he's a better defender than you think. He always seems to come up with loose balls, just makes key plays here and there. But his biggest strength is 3-point shooting. And as we talked about, he's an incredible 3-point shooter that wasn't having as good a 3-point shooting season as you would have expected, because if you just need to watch his shot, he is just an absolutely beautiful stroke. But that has changed over about the last 6 weeks to where in February, and this is most of the winning streak. It does include the loss against Boston in early February, but the month of February, Sam shot 44% from 3. Fantastic percentage. That would be in the top 5 in the league percentage. Yeah. Somehow in March, he is way overachieving from that point. He's shooting 56% on 3-pointers in March. And if you combine it all up, he's shooting right around 50% on threes during this winning streak. And you combine that with all the little things he does, and now he's excelling at, probably his number one skill. It's making him, as you said, more and more of an impactful role player and a guy that's going to be really hard to keep out of the rotation.
So I'm doing the math right now. In his last 6 games, excuse me for having my phone out because I was doing the numbers while you were talking, Kevin. In the last 6 games, he is 16 of 27 from 3. For those who are not as good at math as my iPhone, that is 59.2% from 3 in the last 6 games. And there's a 1 for 6 in that 6 games too. So that tells you man, so unreal.
I think a lot of that is, Sam Merrill's just an excellent shooter. Like Kevin said, just historically great shooter, having a little bit of a slump this year, a little bit of down in it. But I think a lot of it is the trust. And we talk about this all the time, the trust that everybody has in him. They're like, don't worry, dude, just keep firing him off. He's getting open looks. Very rarely is he getting just hucking something up there because he needs to. He's getting open looks. And then like you said, Tim, like his defense this year has been just on another level for him, I should say.
Yeah.
Not like defensive player of the year like Evan Mobley, but that's all you need from Sam Merrill is a competent defender. You don't need, lockdown.
No, I agree with all that. And then kind of what I've seen with the 3-point shooting with Sam and what I think explains some of the uptick in percentages is one, he's taking better quality shots. Like he's getting, I think a lot of it's just like extra work he's doing to get his feet set and be ready for the ball, and crediting to his teammates, finding him, getting him those easy, clean looks. The other thing he's doing that I didn't really notice him doing at a high level earlier in the year was when he gets a catch and somebody comes out to contest, he does like the Steph Curry thing, the pump fake, one dribble to a side, reset, and just get the shot off. And he's shooting it confidently. And my God, he has one of the prettier, just forms of a jump shot in the entire league.
Yeah, 100%, man. He's been absolutely awesome. Let's talk a little about a couple bench guys here, and let's talk about the Virginia Cavalier duo first. So I just mentioned I listened to Ty Jerome on Ryan Russillo. He was on there last week. I finally caught it, and just talking about a bunch of different things. It's a great interview, but some of the things, I guess, from just because it was recency, like a recency thing where I listened to it today and I watched some of the stuff he was doing. One of the questions Russillo was asking was about his ability to hit these kind of circus-y shots and how irritating it has to be to guard him because of the fouls he draws. And I was thinking about that tonight because he has that one. So he hits that deep three. I think that's in the third quarter as they're starting to pull away. And then the next possession, I go in the fourth, he drives to the paint and he has kind of like, it looks like he just hucks it up, draws the foul, and it banks in. And I just started kind of laughing about it because that moment was there. But just his ability, we've talked about it all year. Kev, you highlighted this a couple weeks ago, just his ability to not just kind of hit threes, but also attack the paint, put the ball on the deck, draw confusion in a defense. We saw a lot of that tonight. So 12-5 was like obviously a really nice night for him. Again, the fact he's not top 2 sixth man of the year in the betting odds right now is insane to me.
25-1.
Yeah, like
so yeah.
I mean, I get Peyton Pritchard being on there, but he's he probably hasn't shot the ball as well as Peyton Pritchard does throughout the year, but his team is significantly better and he means more to his team probably than Pritchard. But I thought Jerome tonight, another awesome game, just kind of keeping this thing rolling. So Skylar, will bring you in there. What are your thoughts on the TJ Maxx game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he's making it very hard to go anywhere other than Cleveland this offseason. His best friend is here. And by best friend, I mean literal best friend. Like they were college roommates. They went to Universal together when they were in Orlando the other week.
My kind of team.
Legitimately, these two guys are just best friends. And he's in a system that he's set up to succeed. I don't know how he goes anywhere other than comes back,
because he's gonna get the bag, Scott.
Money. That's how.
The bag.
Because somebody's gonna give him $15 to $20 million a year to be their starting point guard. That's how.
Next year, the Brooklyn Nets will have Naz Reid and Ty Jerome. I'm telling you.
I don't know, guys. If you listen to Fear the Fro's episode, maybe a few weeks back, he kind of rolls out like why teams aren't good fits, who like actually could make a run, and the pool is a lot smaller than anybody would think. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 teams out there that could afford him, have the roster spot for him, and the Cavs are one of those 2 or 3 teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I honestly don't even want to get into that theory.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I would have focused on Ty. Like a little bit surprising that he didn't even get more run tonight. He played 17 minutes. Obviously with Donovan Mitchell out, they meaning Kenny Atkinson, decided to start Isaac Okoro, which I actually like that move because Isaac's been so rusty. It's a way to get him in, and Isaac was an absolute dog on defense tonight. But Ty just continues to be like so good, so consistent. Like he has an impactful game every game. He might not have a big scoring night, but the shots he hit are at a really important time in the game, or he does so much in the way of playmaking. I mean, 5 assists again tonight. just such a like just joy to watch Ty Jerome this year again and again and again kind of contribute to this team.
Yeah, and we'll talk about his best friend, as Skylar mentioned there, 3Andre Hunter, as we now call him in Cleveland, because yet again tonight, burying some deep shots, 3 of 5 from deep tonight, 18 points off the bench, and guys, really good at basketball. I mean, perfect fit.
Undefeated as a Cav.
Yeah, like legit. Like there's not a bad thing you can say about like what he's brought to this team at any point, and it just looks better and better by the night.
Yeah, it does. My favorite DeAndre Hunter stat this from tonight was 8 free throws.
Yep.
He's more at about like 4 a game on average for the season, and that's actually been ticking up since he became a Cav and has been doing a little bit more than standing in the corner and shooting threes. But
with 4 seconds left in the shot clock, catching the ball. Yeah.
Yes, 8 free throws is, for anyone besides like your star player, is a phenomenal number to have in a game. That means you're attacking the basket. You're obviously you're drawing fouls in their team. You can potentially getting some of their guys in foul trouble, and then he makes 7 of 8 from the line, which helps also when you make them when you get there. So I thought, DeAndre has been everything and more that he was advertised to be when he got to the Cavs. And from him tonight, there's a favorite thing to like about DeAndre every game. Mine tonight was the fact that he aggressively got fouls called and got to the free throw line and hit him.
Yeah.
For reference, how many times it felt like Ja Morant was always at the line.
Mm-hmm.
He had 10 trips. So you're talking one foul difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ja Morant was good tonight. 44 points. He just didn't have any help, but he had 10 trips to the line. So you have one more foul at the line than the other team's star player, and you're coming off the bench. That's being aggressive. That's getting it done. That's just playing Cavs basketball, man.
Yeah, for sure. One real quick mention: Jared Allen just made Zach Edey look soft as hell, just like totally soft. Like literally moved his feet in the paint physically. Like that was nuts.
They went away from Edey real quick tonight.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
When you start the game, start the second half, and you only play less than 11 total minutes, that means you're probably a bad matchup against the other team.
Yeah, for sure. Darius Garland, the Tennessee kid tonight, 20 and 9. Didn't have a great shooting game, but hit shots when it mattered the most, and got the dagger 3 to kind of put it away and celebrate in his home state. So that was cool. Want to make sure we gave him some love for that as well. But guys, let's do it. Let's talk about Evan Mobley tonight, because it's another night where we're talking about I know Ja Morant had 44, but you can probably make the case Evan Mobley was the best part on the floor tonight. I thought he was awesome. Attacking the rim, getting really good rebounds, had 2 block shots, was really, really physical, cut down his turnovers, but he was doing these Evan Mobley things that Kevin's been talking about quite a bit of late. These like running the fast break by himself after a block shot, these like things he's pulling in his bag at the nail, and these like things he's been doing there. And he's hitting threes tonight. And it's like, again, we talked about this the other day where I said, like, when he says like he thinks him and Wimby are gonna be the best players in the world in 5 years, like, believe him. And it's nights like tonight where you currently see he has that upside. So maybe that's a little crazy. I don't know. As we know, I'm pretty high on him. I've been very blunt that I think he's the best defensive basketball player in the world. And tonight he was awesome on both sides of the ball. And I thought I really think that overall game, I thought he was the best player on the floor tonight.
I would agree that overall best player on the floor. He was doing it from 3. He was doing it in the paint. He was, 2 block shots and a steal, 3 assists.
Yeah.
I do wonder how much more attention he's paying on defense when in games where he's against, the next guy that's in line for defensive player of the year.
That's a good list.
Because last time they played Memphis, he really turned on the defense, and I do wonder if he's doing that intentionally to kind of make a statement of, yeah, I'm the defensive player of the year this year. And I don't know how close it really is anymore.
Do you want me to answer your question? He 100% is doing that.
Yeah. I don't even think I noticed the same thing, Skylar. I think that's a great call out. I don't even think it's just a defensive player league year thing. I think he looks at Jaren Jackson Jr. as one of his main rivals in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Play the same position. Obviously, Jaren Jackson Jr. really fabulous player, having a great year, well-deserved All-Star year this year. I think Evan's looking at him as this could be one of like my key rival players for the next several years and everything. And I think it's very possible he just doesn't like Jaren Jackson Jr. very much.
They get heated, man.
Evan gets more fired up and talks more against Memphis than just about any team in the league. So I think it might be a little bit that too.
Maybe it's just the Cavs get heated when they play Memphis, because every time it seems like there's either a fight about to break out, flagrant fouls. I feel like maybe these two teams just don't like each other.
Well, yeah, John Michael literally mentioned the broadcast tonight to start the broadcast.
In fairness, that's kind of every Memphis game, no matter who they're playing.
Yeah.
So.
That could be true.
Yeah. When they play, I think they have like another Laker game. Watch how Ja plays Luka that night. It's going to be like just straight up brutal. Picking up on Mobley, I thought as a team overall, I thought they did a great job tonight tracking down 50-50 balls. I thought he was awesome at making sure that the Cavaliers kept the possession on those. The way there's a couple where he missed his own shot and he went and got them. I thought he was just great there. I thought the team overall did a really nice job, but I really thought he led the effort there. So, but hey, guys, we're talking about the 12th team now. The Cavaliers have swept in 2025.
That's pretty incredible. I mean, they have a very legitimate chance to sweep half the teams in the league, because there's a couple teams that they haven't played yet, a couple West teams they haven't played yet, so they still have 2 against those, and I think there's at least 2 or 3 more that they're undefeated against this season as of this moment. So there's a real chance that number could tick up to where they've swept the series against more than half the league, which is just crazy to think about.
Did you guys see Jared Allen's interview when they were talking about the fact that they won the Central Division?
No.
He's like, we won it? He's like, we'll celebrate. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Did you guys see the clips of them playing football at Vanderbilt?
Yes, no. that was really cool.
Yeah. Darius Garland looked like he could be like a pretty decent safety. He's pretty small, but
hey, he at least gets a helmet in football, though.
That's true. Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
To answer Kevin's question, they have the opportunity to sweep 9 more teams.
Yeah, geez. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, they're done playing Milwaukee, right? Because of the cup, they lost the game to them. So that was like the only team in the division they only played 3 times. Do I have that right?
They haven't lost to Milwaukee. They
haven't. No, but
they already swept. It's all 4. They swept all 4 already.
So they can sweep Orlando.
Right. They did. Yeah.
They can sweep the Clippers, Sacramento, Phoenix, Utah, Portland, San Antonio, Detroit.
One more Chicago game.
And one more Chicago game. And New York.
Yeah.
So they're 11-1 in the Central Division this year. Divisions don't matter,
wild.
but that's pretty impressive by all means. So, all right, guys, with that being said, we now turn the page to a matinee special Sunday afternoon against the Orlando Magic, potential round 1 matchup like we talked about earlier. So this is a team that stinks. I don't really know how other way to put it. I love this team. I love Paolo. I love Franz. I thought before Franz heard he was having an all-star year. They have a lot of dudes I really like. There's obviously the history of the playoff series last year that I know Magic fans really are pissed off that the Cavs got, and that Cavs fans still kind of feel like Jared Allen got cheap shot a couple times in that series. So there's still a little thing there, but it's just a down year for them. I still think that's a really good, talented team. I think they're going to be a bounce back next year when they have their guys fully healthy for the year, but just not their year. And I think that they're probably catching the Cavs team at the worst time with the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, I agree. It always worries me when a team is very talented and playing below expectations. Like maybe it shouldn't, because like there's a reason that, over the course of the year, why they wouldn't suddenly turn things around. But yeah, like you said, they recently had like a 5-game losing streak against some of the worst teams. 3 of those 5 losses were 2 to Toronto, 1 to the Bulls, and right the ship a little bit. I think they're 2-2 in their last 4, but yeah, I think a lot of it for Orlando is you're like just haven't been healthy the whole year. They haven't had their 3 main guys together almost at all the entire year, and now Suggs is out for the rest of the year, so they're not gonna, and he's such a key engine for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's not they're a very good defensive team, but with the offensive ability that Cleveland has that you saw tonight, they're fantastic tonight. Like just feels like a little bit of an uneven matchup.
Yeah, I mean, ESPN's, obviously the early matchup particular, whatever, 22% Orlando, 78% Cleveland, and they're considering Donovan Mitchell out for it. So, pretty one-sided through and through.
Yeah. I would sit Mitchell Sunday, win or lose. I don't. Yeah.
Whatever's if there's any risk of that injury getting worse, you sit him. I mean, you're literally games away from clinching the number 1 seed in the East. Yeah. There's no reason. And I know people get upset, and I understand getting upset about the load management thing. But this right now with Mitchell, it's just being smart. If you for all intents and purposes have the number 1 seed wrapped up, and he is, one of, if not your most important player, you do everything you can to make sure he's 100% healthy in the playoffs. So I understand. I want to see Donovan Mitchell play every game, but if I could only have one or the other, I'd much rather see him in the playoffs healthy.
Do you think he's first team All NBA?
He's 5th in MVP right now.
I think he is. I think it's him and Brunson.
Yeah, I think he might. I think he is All NBA. First team is. I don't know. I think he will end up on the first team for a couple of reasons. One, other guys not qualifying, because of the
right.
They're not playing 65 games. They'll obviously have an impact. And the other is, to the riches get the spoils, right? So like when you win the most games in the NBA, your players are going to get rewarded with honors and things like that. And so I almost think it's kind of going to be a partial honor for Donovan Mitchell for how good he was, both as a player and a leader for this team this year, but also a little bit of a Cavs award for, we're going to put somebody on the first team. We're going to put your best player on the first team because of how good your team was.
Love the poetry there. To the riches get the spoil. That's so poetic, man. Yeah, he's got to be. And to the point of, Donovan Mitchell, load management. We've played 66 games. He has played 60 of them. So he's missed 6 games since October.
Yeah. Well, and things are shifting his way. I honestly, who would probably for anybody who might not know, there's 4 All NBA guys that are almost written in stone, right? It's SGA, Tatum, Giannis, Jokic. They're all going to get to the, barring an injury soon, they're all going to get to the minimum things. And frankly, they're like maybe the 4 best players in the league. They're all incredible, well-deserved. Right. So it all comes down to who that 5th spot's going to be. And normally it might be a Luka Doncic, but he's been injured and was a whole drama with being traded this year. There's other guys. And honestly, the leader for it up until a week ago was LeBron.
Yeah, for sure.
With how well LeBron was this year. And then Mitchell was kind of the 6th guy. And with LeBron getting hurt, I think Mitchell may end up in that 5th spot.
Yeah, I think Mobley's going to end up making probably 2nd or 3rd team.
I think so for sure. Yeah. I think he would make 2nd team for sure if they went by the old ways that you have to get positions.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now that you don't do that, I could see him dropping to 3rd team.
Yeah, but he'll be first team all defense. He'll get defensive player of the year. So he's going to have, he's going to stack up the accolades this year for sure. Well, gents, I think we can go ahead and wrap this one up here. I think we touched on everything. So, of course, want to give a big shout out to everyone for tuning in and hanging out with us as always through the season. What a year it's been and still continuing to go. If you're just checking us out for the first time, please be sure to give us a subscription, whether it's on YouTube or your podcast app of choice, and a nice review or a like of the YouTube video if you're doing that route. Helps us out as well. And follow us on all socials as well. You can find us as Blockshot Stop and bsspod.com. So we are all over the place doing our thing. We'll be back Sunday afternoon. And then the West Coast swing, we're probably going to do things a little different just because they're much later games and we're all old. So on behalf of Kevin Lynch, on behalf of Skylar Webker, I am Tim Daniel. Have a great night. And of course,
Go Cavs.